Welcome, City Skylines players and fans, to Capital City. We are going to customize the Aviation Club today. It's a wonderful asset. It came with Sunset Harbor. Let me zoom in here real fast. It looks pretty good. A lot of details in the hangar and the terminal itself. The runway, the lights, looks really good, but I'm going to customize it and kind of make it match my city, add a few unique items to it to make it look good. Here's a preview of what we're going to be doing here. Alright, let's get to it. First thing we need to do is switch the menu on here, and we're going to add on to this runway. So we need to use the touch this tool, and what this does is separate the runway from the asset itself, so you can do whatever you need to do with it. If we were just adding another runway at an angle, it would be fine, but what I'm wanting to do is add on to this runway, and for some reason that does not work. So you have to completely delete the runway. We do want to move this one over a little bit. And clean up this tarmac a little bit here. There we go. Have an idea where we're going to be. All right. If you download, I believe it's Airport Roads, and you get these. Get the runway here and the taxiway, and it's just like the runway that we just deleted, but this one is able to manipulate. Now with this particular asset, it doesn't work like the airport and the cargo airport, because the planes will not stay on the runway. The planes will leave the terminal and they will take off right about where my cursor is, and then they will take off, or they will run this direction, and then they'll come airborne and go right through here, and then they'll bank off in whatever direction from there. So even though we want to move the runway did come from about here, we want to move this out a little bit, so at least when the plane's taking off, it's about half on the runway. You'll see why we're doing that here in a minute. It's not uncommon for small planes. They can take off on half the runway. They don't have to be right in the center because they're so small. Small planes can even take off together, on the same runway, taking off at the same time. That's in a staggered formation. That's I've seen that before. But the reason why we're going to do that is because we are going to add a taxiway through here, and add it to right here. Here, perfect. And then I left it there because we're going to add a secondary runway at a steep angle coming up this direction. And I want it to be a pretty steep angle here to maximize the space that we have available. I think this is going to work. Actually, I think I went too far. Yeah, I think I even went too far, so we're going to scratch that. Readjust it a little bit. Make sure that's straight, because you do want your runway to be straight. And then you want to be careful not to get it too long. From what I understand, about 102 units is about a mile. And that's a pretty long runway for a small airport like this. So small airports like this with 2 runways, you really don't want to get over about 5,000, 5,200 feet. So about half of that is is close enough. I mean, this is this is a little bit, yeah, that's about right. Because you got a little bit here, so that's about what you need to. That's about what it needs to be. So that's a pretty long runway for a medium-sized plane to get into if need be. Maybe they're not necessarily based from this airport, but if they needed to land here, they could. And obviously, you want to extend the taxiway out. We'll manipulate this here in a minute because I don't like the angle here. Definitely don't like the angle. There we go. That looks pretty good. And I want to use the node controller here. To see if I can expand this out to get this to look a little bit better. It will not work. So, I guess we're going to scratch this again. I do not like the way that works. That did not look good. On the right item here. Here we go. Moving this down. Maybe if I extend it a little bit further. Now that looks really good. Let's see if we can get that to work with the taxiway in there. And that may have been the problem, is the taxiway may have been close to the other nodes. And that's what the problem is. So maybe what we can do then is run the taxiway a little bit further down. Trial and error, trial and error. A lot of design on this game, that's pretty much what you got. There, that looks pretty good. Now there is a little bit of a clip here, and we'll see if we can get that to manipulate out. There we go. And then we'll get rid of these here in just a minute because we're going to add another taxiway along this other runway to make it look correctly. Make it look correct. There we go. Clean that up with the paint a little bit. That looks pretty good there. So what we'll do, we'll add the second taxiway. We'll come off this direction, all the way down. Clip to this one. Looks pretty good. Go in with the paint here, clean it up a little bit. Anybody that's watched any of my videos knows that I do not like the trees with the brown around the bottom of them. So I go through and clean all that out. It's the reason why all this paint's coming up the way it is because there was trees here at one time. Now we got a little piece of clip there, but that should be eliminated with, which is what we're going to have to do anyway, because I want only one piece of paint, one painted line there, which, if I remember correctly, I think runways have 2 or 3, but we're going to leave this with 1, just because it doesn't have to be that accurate. Okay, now that looks really good. Now we're going to go through and we're going to add some hangers and some other items. So I'm going to paint more of the tarmac, which is the reason why that didn't really matter whether that taxiway was at an angle. Now this paint will work perfectly as long as you are in line with the map. So you can get a perfect line, straight line this direction and this direction, north and south and east and west. As long as you're in line with the map, It just happened to fall that way. I really honestly didn't even plan it that way. It just kind of worked out. So, well, there we go. Okay, get that other piece there, and there. All right, we got a good sized tarmac there. We'll have a time with that. There we go. That looks pretty good. I think we're going to go ahead and leave this like this. I know that taxiway part of it is hindered by this fence. I can't separate the fence from that. I could go into use the hide it mode to eliminate those, but I really don't want to do that, so I'll just leave it like that. We're mostly going to be looking at this from altitude, so it's not really going to have to be that detailed, but I just mainly wanted it to, yeah, that looks great. Mainly just wanted it to look pretty good with the taxiways and the tarmacs and everything. But you also wanted to make sure that you left the runway here so the plane will take off right here, and it becomes airborne right about here or so, and then it'll bank out whichever direction it goes. I've seen it bank left, I think, is the way. Back north, I think, is the direction that it heads most of the time. Okay, so I downloaded some hangers here. This particular one needs to be on the road. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this right here. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. I don't know if they would have the dumpster sitting there like that, but I'm going to take another one that I have, and we're going to put it right here. And I need to fix that angle a little bit. Things like this kind of drive me crazy. It has to be exactly straight. There we go. And really from this distance you probably couldn't tell, but I would know it, so I had to fix it. I'd have to fix it. Alright, so we'll do that, and then what we'll do, we'll add another tarmac over here. Again, we don't want to get it too close to the runway. And we'll go right like this, and then what we may do is back it off a little bit. There. We may back that off a little bit because that may be a little bit too close, but we'll see. Because all I'm going to add over here is just some of these smaller hangers. Because I don't think we really need another large hanger, but some smaller hangers would fit in quite nicely right here. So I think we're going to put this here. Don't want to get them too close together. I'm willing to bet the fire marshal probably would not like that. Yeah. And then what we'll do, we could actually, can we put a second one here? Or I guess this would be a fifth. I don't know if we'd want it that close to the runway, though. I sure wouldn't. I wouldn't want my plane sitting there. Yeah. I think we'll do that. That just like that. And then we'll go through and wipe out some of this. Yeah. There we go. some of that tarmac there, make that look a little bit better there. Heck, who knows? We'll just fill all that in. Yeah, I think that looks all right. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, so then we've got some plane assets here. They're in the props, and for some reason they put them under industrial. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but that is where they're at. So we'll go ahead and put one. I know this hangar is probably a little bit big for these planes, but that's what we got. All right, and then actually we want to put another one out here, and then there is another plane. Where is the plane at? Right here. Yeah. I knew there was one that was not in the industrial side, industrial props. Alright, we'll put that right there. Just something outside of the kind of tempted to put one in there, but I don't know if they'd do that or not. Put another one in there. And we'll go back to industrial. Get a couple. These are twin engine planes, a little bit bigger. They'd probably fit. They'd probably go in this hangar here. We'll put this guy maybe right here. Maybe he's being fueled up and ready to go on some sort of business trip or something. And then this one's being worked on. These would probably be kept in this bigger hangar here. All right, that looks pretty good. Now let's go in and do some detailing. Yeah, put the hangers and everything. I'm going to add some parking. I know there's parking in the asset itself, but yeah, here's another hangar here, but I think this is a gigantic. I've got some more hangars downloaded, but I want to use those for the airport. In an upcoming video, I want to do a custom passenger airport. So stay tuned for that. By the way, if you like this content, smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and you'll be notified when these future videos come out. We're going to put a parking there, and yeah, we'll put parking right there, and then see if we can get smaller ones. Now, this looks like it's meshing in, but it'll be alright. We'll fix it. Except for that one, maybe. But we'll take a look here. See what we can fix. Alright. So these right here, pull those down. Want to make sure you leave enough room for the sidewalk for your citizens to walk. There we go. And then here, I think yeah, I don't think this one is going to work with this. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work there. So I think we're going to have to just get rid of that one. And then we'll go through and put that there. And then maybe if we take one of these smaller ones, no, that wouldn't even fit there either. Well, we'll do some more here. And these are under parks. Some parking assets that I've downloaded. Yeah, perfect. All right. So we'll just go through and pull these again closer to the roadway. Actually, sorry guys, I'm very particular about it. I wanted to make sure that it's all as close as possible to being perfect. There we go. And then we'll pull this down. There we go. That looks pretty good there. I think what we're going to do is I may have to, because I have these grass park assets here that actually I think I can use move it to just move them to where I want them, which I think is what we'll do. Place these all right here. I got one more I want to put there, but I think I'll have to use a prop for that. So we'll go through and move those right into place. Yep, and we'll fix that here in a second. And these, and we can fix actually this and this. Kind of do the same thing here. Move those right into place. And then obviously same thing here. By putting these right up to there. And again, there's some more spots here. We will fix that here in a second. Pretty good. Now there is another one. These are WODK Studios _park grass 06, and then there's one of them that is 4 tiles. It's 09. So there's 06 and 09. Wonderful. I use them all the time. I love the texture of them, and I love the color of them. It just makes a neighborhood or a yard pop. It's wonderful. But I have these other props that, to be honest, I'm not sure. They are under the ground tiles, and I'm not sure if they're created by the same asset creator. But it's a grass prop and grass tile, I think, is the other one. And they look exactly the same. I think one meshes with the road better than the other, but in situations like this, it works exactly the same, regardless of which one you use. And the texture is almost the same with both. And what I'm going to do is run it right to the edge of that parking spot. Do the same thing over here, right to the edge. There we go. And that looks good. And right over here, we need to add a little bit to get those bushes in there. I think just to give it a little bit of, because there's a little grass right there, I think we're going to run this right to the edge of the recycling bin, just to give it a little added oomph. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And that. Then I don't really care for this one sticking over the fence, so we're going to move that back in. And so that looks great there. Really, really good there. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, go in with the paint again and paint concrete on there. You can lay down ploppable asphalt and do all that, but I just painted it. It makes it easier to go through here. And then what we'll need to do next is to complete the fencing. There's fencing all the way around this already, but I'm going to have to go through and replace it all because when I laid it with the original Aviation Club, I laid it with the little prongs sticking inward, which is not what you're wanting to do because you're wanting to keep people out. People that aren't supposed to be there, we don't want those people in there. So you want them sticking outward, which is how the prop or the asset is actually set up. So I have to go through and change all those. So I've got to go run all the way along and down. So I'm going to do that off camera real fast here. So it'll take just a couple minutes and we'll do that. Hold on just a second. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, we got all the, sure, there we go. We got those fences laid all the way around except for right by the airport. So we'll get that in just a second here. Just wanted to correct all that off camera. This is the oil industry fence. It matches the fence on the asset itself. I think it came with the industry's DLC. I think is the fence that they're using. Again, the prongs are sticking outwards. So I had to go back and correct all that because just not that you could even see it very well, but I knew it was like that, so I just had to fix it. There we go. So we locked that in there, and it looks like that was hanging over the edge here a little bit. Again, nothing that you can really see that in great detail from altitude, but it's still, I know it's there, so it has to get fixed there because it will drive me crazy if I don't. Let's see, it looks like we need to move this a little bit. Oh, it looks like that is a flaw in the... I've never noticed that before. That is a flaw in the this asset here, and it looks like that trailer container is clipping the fence there. I never noticed that. Thought that was something that I did. So we'll go ahead and complete this fencing right here, which we'll have to use move it to get it to fit in it correctly. And of course I did it the wrong direction, but that's okay, we can fix that. Let's see here. There we go. Well, I think we're just going to have to delete this. There we go. We'll do it the right direction this time. Just do it down here. Just pull it into position. That'll be the easiest way to do it. There we go. Protects that air conditioning units and those containers. Looks like there's a garage door there. Which I really don't like that. That's going to bug me. I don't think that's a leftover asset that I accidentally propped. No, it's not with that. I've just never noticed that before. Probably what we'll do then, because that will drive me absolutely crazy. Actually, we were on the right. We'll go into, I think I've got a truck here. Yeah. I want to park this truck right here. And that's not going to cover it all. placing vehicles, you want to make sure you slant it just a little bit, so they're not all like right in the right row, because not everybody parks exactly straight. There, that works. Okay, so we'll connect this fence. Again, it's the oil industry fence with the industry's DLC. It looks like, well, what we're going to have to do is connect this to this, and then we're going to have to see what we can do. I may have to just take this parking out. It's kind of a weird place for parking to be all the way over there anyway, away from the doors. I mean, I know there's parking here too, but, yeah. So I think we're just going to take this out. Small airport, it doesn't really need much parking anyway, but there. And then brush size, go through and restore the road to, yeah, just like that. Okay, good deal. So that looks pretty good there. There is a couple other things I'm wanting to do here. Oh, we didn't need to run a fence through here. Almost forgot. We'll make sure that we secure this area here. We'll run this. And I knew that I was going to do that. What is right down here. Then just use the move it. Place it right there. Good deal. Good deal. And then go ahead and clean this up a little bit here. Just because they wouldn't run concrete all the way over there. Matter of fact, that's quite a bit of parking there. I'm not sure if I should run parking all the way over there or not. I think maybe that should just be grass. Yeah, I kind of get carried away with parking a little bit because this is just a small little county airport. It doesn't need a lot of parking. Yeah, I think that's more than enough. And then we have a gate right here going into this garage door. We have this fenced off here. So what we can do is we can add another couple parking spots on this area right here. Just go to the ground tiles. I have some parking spots. Bring that to single. Actually, what I'm going to do is put this, instead of putting a triple stall there, I'm going to put a double, and then I'm going to put a dumpster down here. So a garbage truck could go in there and lift it up and empty it. I'm not sure with this asset, I'm not sure how you would get in there and clean those. I guess you would run a small electric golf cart vehicle that they have around airports and stuff. I guess they would run that to empty the recycling bins. Okay, now we have an opening right here that we need to close, but one thing I noticed was if you're wanting to secure this whole location, is you got a fence right here, a stairwell right here, and then you got a stairwell right here that goes up to the top. And then there's two doors here. If you're really wanting to secure this whole area, you would want those those stairwells inside the fence itself. Um, so what I'm going to do is to bring a fence. Hopefully I can grab that. There. And then basically the same thing here. Now you want to hug it right up against the stairwell so that way these people have enough room to park. And then grab. There we go. Reached into the building a little bit too much, but still looks pretty good. And then, so you got a couple parking stalls there, the main doors. And then what I'm going to do on this right here is there's parking stalls in here. So I'm thinking I'm going to put another one of those gates on here, which is located in the industries in the prop menu. Landscaping, disasters, has all the props and decals and everything. But there's an industrial gate here. And it's just like the one that's over there. And I'm going to put that right here. There. And then we'll get a, I don't know if this would necessarily be manned by someone or whether you would have to, can't really put it over here because of those parking stalls. So you'd have to put it over here, so you'd have to get out and like type your code in or whatever. And I don't think it needs to be that big either. So we'll just do that right there. So you would have to get out and then say maybe it stays open for like 3 minutes or something. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some more parking stalls on the inside here just because, well, we can. And I think it makes it look good. Make sure it's parallel with the fence there. Not sure how good of a job that is, but and that might be, no, that's enough room. Because you want to be able to leave enough room for, they wouldn't bring a tractor trailer in here, but they would probably bring a straight truck, a box truck that we placed over there. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to place a box truck in here just to spruce it up a little bit. Yeah, maybe we'll put it right here. You don't want to put one of those stalls down because the cars in the game will actually use these. They will park cars in there. So if you put a stall there, they'll put a car underneath that truck. So it'll clip and it'll start looking a little funny. So you don't want to do that. There, that looks really good. Good deal. All right, and then last thing we're going to do here, or one of the last things we're going to do, is I've already got this windsock already built. I use the prop and anarchy to create circles, and then I went through and kind of modified it a little bit with the different sizes, bushes and stuff to kind of make it look natural, but not too natural. So we'll put this into position. Thinking this will probably go right here. Go through and eliminate all this. There we go. I think that looks really nice. Now there is a windsock here, but I guess I don't know why. Maybe they have two. But that one came with the asset itself. But I just they're normally out from what I've seen on these airports. They're normally out by the runways. They're not really up by the terminal or anything. I mean, there may be some that are, but most I've seen out by the runways of the taxiways, usually so they can be seen very, very easily from the air and from the ground from multiple locations. Okay, I think one of the last things we're going to do here, we're going to put these lights in. These are the approach lights for the runways, and I'm not sure if this airport would have them, but I'm going to go ahead and put them on here. Make sure they're facing the right direction. Just because I think that it has lights for nighttime landing, so I think it would have these approach lights. Now, obviously, at night they wouldn't be able to see that fence. That light would just kind of shine right through there. So go through and line these up right with the center of the runway, I believe, is where these go. And I was looking for a glide slope set of lights, which are usually off to the side that sit right here. And if you're too low, they show up as red. If you're too high, they show up as like yellow or something. And then if you're on perfect glide slope, they show up as green. I was looking for those, and I couldn't find any that I was happy with. Actually, I don't think I found any at all. So I just had to use the approach lights here, just because I wanted to give it a little bit more detail on, just something else out by the edge of the end of the runway here. There we go, and here we go. So I'm going to be doing the larger airport on the other side of town here, the other side of Capital City here very shortly. There we go. And this one's going to be a little tricky because there's not much room. But I think what we'll do is we'll place one right here. And we'll place another one out in this field. And I've seen that before where there'll be approach lights out in the middle of a grass field or something. So I think that's separate line. No, this needs to be moved a little bit. There we go. I think that's lined up. All right, looking good, looking good. There we go. Go through and paint this. Yeah, this is part of the personality of Capital City here. Is they're working on, this is a highway through here, like a state highway or a federal highway going through. Originally went down this way north to south and then cut over and then banked over and went down this direction. But the city's adding in this parkway that comes over, and they haven't completed it yet. So it's part of the personality. They've got this road half completed, and they've got all these barricades up and everything. It's just part of the personality for the city. That's in case you saw those barricades while we were working on that. All right, that looks pretty good there. Up, we missed some painting here. There we go. I think we got everything done. Alright, looks really good. Smash that like button if you like my content, and subscribe to my channel for upcoming projects. I've got some few more videos coming up that are in the works already. I've got the airport that I'm thinking of working on. I haven't started it yet, but I am working on that. But hit that like button, and wishing everybody a happy morning, noon, or night, wherever you're at in the world. And remember, everyone, commit to do the long game. Have fun, everybody.